We acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which this podcast has been produced, and we pay our respects to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples and to elders past and present. Welcome to Snack, the Aged Care podcast where we break down some of the big questions around what it really means to be person-centered. This podcast is brought to you by the Ethnic Communities Council of Queensland, also known as ECCQ, the peak body for multicultural communities in Queensland. In today's episode, we'll be hearing about the rewarding aspects of working as a carer for culturally diverse people. Amanda Bowden from ECCQ's Partners in Culturally Appropriate Care program speaks to David Vien, care worker with Diversicare, which is a home care division of ECCQ. David came to Australia from Vietnam and for the past 10 years has been enjoying a fulfilling career in home care work.
On Saturday market, I met a young Vietnamese lady, Linh. She's a home care worker in Diversicare for almost 5 years. And she suggested me to think about becoming a home care worker. I looked up and found the interesting Diversicare volunteer program, and I become a member on May 2013. During the visit as a volunteer worker, I found happiness. The resident in nursing home is so nice, very lovely. And the kind nurse, I met the kind nurse and the AIN, which is the assistant in nursing carer. And suddenly, so surprised is my sister was a cook over there. They suggest me to take the course and get into the home care worker. And I got the job in Diversicare on November 2013.
We then asked David what is important on the first visit to a client.
That's so important for a first visit. I normally try to find out the background of the person I'm going to visit because I can build trust and show respect to them. The people I met through the last 10 years, they have all different culture background from Vietnam, Australia, England, Spain, Poland, India, like Asian culture background from India and Vietnam, Chinese. They have something like clothes like wearing appropriate attire can show respectful to take the shoe off before enter the house. But over here, I need to wear shoes, so I bring another shoe, inside shoe. Okay. With the people like in Vietnam, they like to pass things or receive things by two hands. They like to live close together, and the children love to support their parents at the old age. With bowings, sometime before when I read, I find that bowings only happen now in Japan or Korea. But I just before I come here, I have a visit people from India, and they said that bowings to all the people is not appropriate now in India. Yeah. So therefore, to visit, you better talk to the person you are going to visit. Then you get the best result, the best culture you need to know.
And you'd ask the person themselves and also their family members how they like to be cared for, how they like to be shown respect.
Exactly, yes.
When a care worker first starts work, they are assigned a buddy by their care coordinator. The buddy is an experienced care worker who shows the new person what the work is about. Usually, the buddy goes with the new care worker to the client's house during the first visit.
Yes, It's an interesting thing that when the newcomer, they first came to the work, they might worry so much what they are going to do. And the buddyship program is the person can follow an experienced worker and they can help him whatever in detail, and maybe it happen 1 week or 2 weeks. And after that, they will be so confident in their job and will feel the job is become easier for them.
So the new home care worker follows you around as the experienced home care worker, and you show them what to do and how to do it. Is that correct?
Correct, yes. The experienced worker will show every detail, every trick, any tips which can help the newcomer to work properly so they can get a job and they will confident in their work.
David, I understand that you began your career in aged care as a volunteer. Could you tell us a bit about that, please?
Yes, I suggest before you get into aged care workforce, you need to try first to join the team called volunteer and work in a nursing home. At that time you go to visit the older people. You will find your happiness, and you will find the worker over there, the nurses, the worker. They help you and they show you the way. Then you feel more confident and to think about for longer term by taking the course like me and get into the home care worker over 10 years.
So you'd recommend doing some volunteering in aged care first, just to see if you like it, to see if you're well suited to it, and if it's something that you would like as a career path.
That's 100% correct, yes. And volunteer will tell you that you are capable to meet the older people. You feel that you can start a course and get into the caring industry.
So what would you recommend for people starting their careers as a home care worker?
With the home care worker, you might require to do different jobs, such as domestic assistant, social support, personal care. But you can go detail with that when you get into the workforce. But over here, I only suggest that first of all, you need to like the job. You know what you are doing, being on time, respecting the people you are working, cooperate with the family member and your colleagues at work, and ask if you don't know. The family member, or we call the primary carer, should know the person much better than we do. Talking about habit, keeping habit to learn a better way to perform your tasks, checking your progress, and up the shift through coordinator or your colleagues.
David, when you first meet a new client or consumer, what are some ways that you get to know them and know what they like, what they don't like? How do you get to know them?
Okay, it's the first visit. It's always things I need to know. I need to know the person condition, health condition, history of for, and the specifics things I need to know, especially the culture, because some people have a different culture. When I know that, I will avoid anything that I can against their culture. For example, when I walk into the people's house, I bring my own shoe. I think they happy with that. And it happened to many places where I go. Another thing, so when I build trust with them, after a period of work, then I can ask them about their culture, what I should learn. I'm interested in learning people consumer culture, and they were happy to tell me. When I work over there, I can smell their cooking. I can see some spiritual statues or photo or picture, even something different on their house. I don't touch, and I respect all of those things, and I leave it there. It shows that they're happy the way I do. I keep learning, I keep asking, and I will get the better about culture for my work.
Right. I guess there's no end to learning about your client or consumer. There's always something more to learn about them. And the more you learn about them, the better the quality of your care is for them.
Certainly, yes. And through that, I can build more relationship, with trust, and my work become more comfortable. Mm.
And would you say your relationship with the client or consumer is more important or just as important as getting the task done for them?
I think that's more important, to know people, to get trust built to the consumer I work to. That's more important than the task.
Do you think that there are any advantages of being born in a country outside of Australia, or from your hardship of your experience as a former refugee, that might give you a special perspective or empathy for the older people that you care for?
Yes, there are. As a Vietnamese, I have the habit to work hard to earn living, because I learned that the Vietnamese government at that time could not provide enough support for the unemployment worker and retiree. They may need the charity for the poor, and own children support their parents. As a child, I started helping my parents. On weekends, I rode my bike from school to home, about 16K, to help my parents whatever they need. And in that way, I feel real happiness. Yeah. Living in Australia, I try to keep the same habit, because I think that already in my bloodstream. And supporting older people is always my ordinary work.
David's Vietnamese cultural background influences the way he cares for people. He introduces the concept of karma, which is a belief about cause and effect. It is about how one's good deeds in this life influences the outcomes in this generation or the next.
Yeah, I believe in karma, because karma is something happened the very beginning in the universe, before anyone with the karma. If you believe in karma, then you will see the result of what you have done in the past. When you think of karma, when you do it, you don't think it happened in your life. It might be happen in the next life. If people believe in karma, I think the war will end. They will love each other more, will make good deed for others, so they can receive good karma. I believe in karma, so whatever I do now, I will receive it in the future. Don't have to be in this life, but maybe my next life.
And finally, David, if there was one piece of advice that you could offer to a new home care worker, what would it be?
Have a positive thinking to the matter in any situation. Believe in teamwork effort, because by yourself you can never done successful anything. Good karma will guide you a correct choice.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Join us for the next episode of Snack to hear more about caring for culturally and linguistically diverse people. Funding for this podcast has been provided by the Council on the Ageing Queensland Home Care Workforce Support Consortium as part of the Home Care Workforce Support Program, which was funded through grant funding from the Australian Government.